Welcome back to the Buck Junkie podcast. We're not at the farm this week. We're back in the old podcast studio. Yeah, the barbecue studio.
I like being in here.
Yeah, just worked out this week. We got Will running the board. Is this your first time, Will? I think it is. What are we talking about this week? Dove season?
Dove season coming up. Talk about dove fields, some of our guns, shells, prep work.
I don't have a good feeling about it.
I don't either.
I'm going to say.
Everybody I've talked to that has sunflowers, deer mowed them down.
The deer mowed them down. Wow.
Yeah.
Have they got any birds at all?
I hadn't talked to the first person that had birds.
I hadn't either. We had birds 4 weeks ago now, I guess.
Yeah. Right before that cool front that came through.
And I still ain't felt the cool front. I don't know.
Well, y'all were out of town.
Yeah, y'all out of town.
Y'all were in
we went to
Arkansas
Arkansas.
somewhere.
Yeah. It was a little cooler that weekend.
It got cool that week, or for about 3 days, 4 days, something like that. It went down in like the low 80s and, got real nice. But, yeah, we had birds before then. But, I mean, it's everywhere. Like, before that came through, there were birds on the side of the road and everything at the house, sitting on lines. Now you come down through there and you don't see any.
Where did they push south, or do they go back north?
You got me.
I think they're north because I seen them in Indiana.
You saw a ton up there?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're like fat birds like we used to have in Indiana.
Yeah. They're real doves.
Maybe it's like the ducks, the migration changes on them.
Something, because we always thought the cool front moved them, you know. But it was 60 degrees in Indiana, and it was freaking doves everywhere.
Them doves don't know what hot is.
No.
No, that's what I was say. That's normal weather for them, so they ain't going to move until it gets cold up there.
I wish someone would push them down this way. Well, my thing was, when we got to talk about what we're going to talk about this week, let's talk about dove season. My question is it worth it? The money you put into a field, the time it takes, buying, you ain't really buying new equipment. It's all stuff you probably
might have to, though.
But I always spend money every dove season buying something. But you think about all that effort you put into it, and you get out there and you ain't got no daggum birds.
If you're looking at it for the killing aspect, probably not.
Yeah.
If you're looking at it for the cooking out and hanging out with your buddies, yeah.
I wonder if dove season might be pound for pound more expensive than any other one.
Probably.
From the actual really time you get to do it, how much money you spent on it.
I don't know.
People
duck season the last few years been pretty much just throwing money out in the field.
But dove season usually a 1 to 2 weekend hit and it's done.
Yeah, one usually. That's all we've ever really got, unless you got multiple places. So do you think? So let me ask you this: do you think it's better to find a paid hunt somewhere, spend the money you're going to spend, go on a dove hunt weekend for a chance to kill, as many birds as you can hit?
Those are hit or miss too, though.
I've done that one time.
I've never been on one.
And I was scared to death because I didn't know none of these guys. Man, I was getting peppered. I was getting shot. It'd be your bird, and they would shoot halfway across the field at it. And
I say you figure up what you spend on a dove field. You go buy 10 cases of Skeets and go buy 10 cases of ribeyes and stay at the camp.
And stay at camp and do that. Well, see, I thought about that too. Like the money you spend in it, you could go and go like to a sporting clay course or have a big time. You could go shoot multiple times. So we kind of did dove fields on budget.
Yeah.
You want to talk about how we did ours this year, because we spent the money on sunflowers and milo.
In the past, of course, everybody wants to go out there and shoot in a sunflower field. Stand in sunflowers. Cut some of them down, and you're spending. Number one, sunflower seed. It's not really high, but it is expensive when you go into planting a large field. But the prep of that field is where it gets real expensive, because by the time you spend money on killing that field off, planting, putting down pre-emergent, and then respraying that field, fertilizing that field, you got a lot of money in just a dove field.
And then hoping the deer don't wipe it out.
And then, like Jamie said, like where we're at, the density of deer there, they just wipe the sunflowers out. You don't hardly have any heads left.
Between my house and Mark's house, so we should do probably 6 acres, probably sunflowers. And this has been probably 10 years ago longer. And I'd have $1,500, $2,000 in it easy. But something's changed. We used to kill we could limit out Saturday, Sunday.
It's just like duck season. Then it was, you knew of how many, we could count on one hand how many fields were in DeSoto County. And now you look at it and there's 1,000. Everybody's got a field, and who doesn't have a field's got 200 pounds of weed out there in their backyard. So one of the two. It's a lot more options for them birds to go to.
So now, like we, doing those dove fields like that's kind of the expensive way to do it. And we've changed because of what we've been seeing. I mean, we hadn't had those really good dove sheets. It's not really worth putting those sunflowers in and spending that extra money. Cause it's only, 7 or 8 of us down there shooting on this field, but anyways, so we started doing it kind of like on a budget. So we plant wheat at the end of the season, right around October. I'll go in after dove season, and I'll plant in wheat that in places that didn't already come back up from what we had done previously. But I'll plant wheat that comes up for the deer. We use it during deer season, turkey season for food plots, and then when it gets springtime, it starts coming back up, heading out, and then we go back in once it dries out, and we'll burn the field off. When we burn the field off, all that seed's laying on top of the ground. That's what we're hunting over. So you're getting multiple uses out of that field. Us using it for turkey and deer and stuff like that, and we're dove hunting on it. So that's been the cheapest way for us to be able to do it so far.
So if you started out from a new field, you just got to do a kill off, and then break the ground, broadcast some wheat, cover it up a little bit, and let it grow. You're not worried about in the fall. You're not spraying it. So come back spring when you're waiting on that wheat to grow, do you have to go back and spray it again?
Yeah. You have to go out and check your field. I've said this before. Different regions or different areas, you're gonna have different weed infiltration in the field. So you go out there, you look, see what's out there, decide what you need to spray on your field. You may be able to get it with one chemical. It may take 2 chemicals depending on what you got out there. So you go in and you spray it, try to get it out of there. Like ours, I don't really spray ours because we don't have a whole lot of weed infiltration. On one end of it we do, that Johnson grass and stuff will get out there. But I usually go in once it browns up and just spray it with glyphosate.
You're spraying the whole field.
I'm spraying the entire field, killing all the grass. Where it's clean when we burn it. Mm-hmm. And if whatever I didn't kill or didn't burn up, we'll go back in and just kind of run the bush hog over it and clean the field down to nothing.
Well, that's what I noticed this year. I mean, there's a pretty good bit of Johnson grass and goat weed and all that stuff in there. Well, it didn't die out real good when you spray it. So you'll have these areas where it was all your wheat that's brown and dry and ready to burn, and then you'll have these little pockets of green. Does it really matter if you got some of that out there?
No, it don't matter. I mean, you want some clean areas in the field because birds do like to light in, they don't want to light no tall grass. I mean, but goat weed, they like goat weed. So, they will light in goat weed, and they'll eat goat weed.
As long as you throw some weed in it, huh? But legally, you can come back and then rebroadcast wheat at 50 pounds an acre or whatever the recommended rate is. Yeah. And that's not in the illegal field.
No. If you're using it for erosion control, you just got to make sure that each state may be different. I know ours is like 90 pounds per acre is what ours is.
Mississippi.
In Mississippi. So you can throw 90 pounds of wheat per acre. If you go in and you disc the field up, or like if you burn the field off where it's nothing on the field and you're re-sowing that field after, you've harvested that field for regenerating the field again, then it's 90 pounds per acre.
You just have to watch your time. You can't
do
that
watch your
like
time.
Friday before dove.
No, you can't go out there Friday before dove season and sling.
And also, it's a fine line between if it's livestock on it too, what you can put out, how quick you can put it out, and what's your time limit. Because I talked to a guy the other day, and he said he's putting his out 24 hours the night before, and I'm like, dude, you're gonna get a ticket.
But it's because he's doing it for cows.
That's what he says. I don't know.
I don't know.
Don't
probably
hunt
some
that
gray
field.
area. Have y'all ever been in the fields been checked?
Yeah.
Like the game warden showed up?
I mean, our local game warden, every year we done a field, I always called him, and he's like, too late, I've already checked it.
Oh, so they kind of.
Oh yeah,
they know what's going on.
But he ain't gonna tell you if you're good or not until that morning.
Oh, well, even if you ask him to come out and tell me if everything looks good before I have people come hunt.
Yeah,
he won't tell you. He'll just show back up.
Depends on where they are in their quota.
Yeah, we'll come back and let you know tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll let
you're
you know
good,
September
James. Go
1st.
ahead.
And you,
Go ahead.
you can't get mad at the game warden if you get a ticket. Because not every time, you're legal or illegal.
Yeah.
So it's just the risk you're willing
So how
to take.
do they check? They got a little thing they throw down and count, or
It's a 1 foot by 1 foot little square
frame?
and it may be 2 foot, but they throw it down and they count the seeds in that frame.
The last hunting club field I went on, it wasn't a bit of problem until when daylight come up, shoot, I walked off that field. It was like Rice Krispies. It was so much.
So you
sweet on
paid
there.
and you didn't even hunt?
No, I didn't even hunt. I didn't even fire the first shot.
Man. You just
I
want to be
walked
away
off
from
the-
everybody where you can run.
I walked out of there before where the dew had, you'd walk through grass to get there.
Yeah.
You walked across the field, and when the sun came up, there was wheat stuck
Oh
on
yeah,
my
stuck on your boots.
It was all out in the grass.
No, it was
No.
out in the
Oh,
field.
oh, the
When the moisture on my boots had picked that dry seed up, and it was stuck on my feet. I knew it was a little heavy on the wheat.
What do you think that fine is? Have you ever had one?
I had never had one.
I ain't either.
Probably. I bet it's $200. Ain't
I
it?
wonder if they posted it.
How much the illegal baiting field is?
I would.
I've heard of people getting going paid for a hunt and the field get caught and you hunt at your own risk or whatever. So everybody's subject to a ticket, no matter who you are.
I mean, some of the guys that we hunted with, that's what they would say. We throw wheat out. It's up to you. You get the ticket. I don't get the ticket if you go out there and hunt. I mean, if I will get a ticket if I'm out there, but you think it's baited, don't hunt the field.
Use your discretion.
Yep. I mean, that's the best way to do it. I mean, you're invited to a dove field, but hey, we throwed it out. But if the game warden comes out there and he finds one spot on that field that he's got the right amount of seeds in, maybe where you made a turn with the sower or something,
Yeah.
you might have got a little heavy in a turn or something.
Yeah, I don't know how they.
So how does that?
Yeah, I don't know how they determine if the pile of wheat's in front of you and not me.
Yeah. What if you're 10 acres
Yeah,
down?
who's getting the
You know,
ticket?
Who's getting that? Is it
Everybody.
They're gonna line them all up and write everybody a ticket.
Y'all.
It kind of. I mean, I'm assuming it'd be somewhat up to the game warden's discretion too.
Yeah, I mean,
Plus
if
they
it
go
was a
check
big
your
field and
guns,
you were,
plugs. I bet.
yeah, if somebody's 200 yards down the field, maybe not. It just really probably depends on his attitude.
You think he's gonna go after the ones that run, or is he gonna get the easy catch that just stand there?
They don't show up by themselves.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a team of them.
I imagine if they come to a field they know who's baited, there's probably
They're
there's
there
probably
before-
game wardens on the street sitting in the trucks or hiding in the woods.
Yeah,
somewhere
they're
waiting
probably
on the
there before you are.
It says right here, it says the hunter has the responsibility to determine if the field is baited.
Yeah,
So it's on you.
Yeah.
yeah. If you walk out there and you think it's baited, you got it's up to you. Like I said, I mean,
Part of it.
that's part of it. I mean, you go out there and we all know that. I mean, from when you're throwing out wheat, you're trying to hit that 90 pounds per acre, but are you really hitting it, or are you going over it a little bit? And if you're using the implements and things like that, and you making turns and you sling a little extra wheat down in the ends or something like that, or overlap by mistake. I guess it really depends on the game warden. How bad you wanted to tag somebody on that field.
I don't see a price sheet for.
They don't have a fine price sheet where it's probably up to the judge.
Probably,
There's probably like
gotta go to court.
there's probably like a high limit, and they can give you as much of that as they want.
Yeah. I've gotten one ticket, or actually it was two. I got 2 tickets, not abiding by the game laws, and I didn't know what the fines were until I got to the court. And then I had to come up with those fines right there. It didn't bring no money with me, no check or nothing. I was scared to death. I was going to get taken to jail, and they're going to hold me until I paid it.
Yeah.
No, they let me leave and come back and pay it. But
They're gonna get their money.
One of the questions said, "Can you topsoil wheat over an unprepared pasture?" No. Don't matter if cows are on it or not.
So it's got to be broke ground,
Yeah.
or you got to drill it.
that's what I was going to say. You can get away with that drilling it, but if you're wanting the dove hunt over it, it's in the ground. It ain't gonna do you no good.
Can
That's what we need.
Can I harvest corn and redistribute it over a field? No.
What about the people throwing out salt and all that? Is that
That's
highly
illegal.
It's illegal.
and the glitter and all that?
Yeah.
So don't buy the rock salt with the glitter
I
at
don't
it.
know if glitter is illegal.
I've heard of people doing rock salt. I've heard of people putting pea gravel out. I mean, just anything.
Well, I mean, what I notice in ours is where we break the ground around the field to control the fire. The dove love that.
Yeah.
Bare
Like
ground.
they're in that freshly broke up ground. And I've seen more like here this past few weeks when all the birds disappear. There's been more at the shop every morning
In the ground.
eating the gravel,
yeah.
than there has been out in the fields.
I mean, we did have a artificial power line.
Is that illegal?
No, I don't think so.
Is a wire on a field illegal?
I don't think so. I didn't see nothing in here about getting light poles.
That's one thing we don't have is a wire for them to sit on.
It makes a
It's
difference.
probably not sporting.
I mean, you don't shoot it off the wire. You
You
got
wait till you flush them first. You
don't.
give a little warning. Man, if there's one sitting on a power line, I'd dust his butt.
So
I've seen so many get shot out of trees and all power lines.
That's my favorite place to hunt. You got no dead tree on the field.
That's why everybody says about
Oh
the dead
man,
tree.
you get right on the dead tree, dude. They come to you. You can let 2 or 3 of them light, shoot up in there amongst them.
I don't quite understand this graph. It's pretty confusing. But just looking at this one, harvest numbers from 2002 to now has dropped. That's in the millions, so 6 million from 2002 to 2020,
That's for the state,
and it's still trending down. Now this is
As a
United
whole.
States, and they got different numbers. They like
They must be figuring out a way to keep them in Mexico and Argentina.
something
They kill 'em on
for
the dump truckload.
Yeah.
they got one for hatch years or hatches per year, and then harvest rate, and then they break it up into Eastern, Central, and Western. So I guess we would be considered Central, I guess, maybe. But yeah, Central's not good. Everything's going down but Eastern. Eastern trended up.
That would be where Indiana is.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I mean, seriously, like when we was kids, you could go anywhere and limit out on birds, and they was all big birds. And now you let a dove fly over and you shoot up the shotgun, it just like blows through it like they don't even phase it. I don't know if the shots have changed or
Young
what's the
birds.
difference.
That's what I think it is.
It's what?
It's young birds. Those are all, and they say that like this first part of dove season is going to be all your young hatch birds flying. That's what I saw last year. And then they said that second wave that come down is usually your bigger birds.
Like
I don't
the
know
pigeon-sized
I don't know
birds.
how true it is, but
You will see a difference in them though, because they, like in December, like we've been out there. You know, I've seen doves get up off that wheat field out there during December and stuff. You know, it'd be them big old
fat doves, yeah,
We seen that one when we was burning the field, big old ringneck.
yeah.
He looked huge compared to the other one.
There's some pigeons out there the other day too. There's a
That's
flock
all
of
I'm worried
pigeons.
about. Just attracting the pigeons. Hell with the doves.
You want to shoot the pigeons?
Yeah,
We ate
A lot
some
more
of
meat on
last
them
year.
things.
Yeah, they ain't near as good.
pigeons.
I ate
good.
one. I ate a couple of them last year, but they're not near as good as a dove.
It's in your head.
Yeah. Do what?
It's in your head.
No, it ain't. It's tougher.
Did you see the guy cook the doves in the oyster skillet?
Yes.
And they had butter, and he was rolling them. That looked pretty
They look
good.
Really good. Have y'all seen that?
Yeah, that was one of them $high oyster skillets that they were.
That was like the aluminum one or
Yeah,
whatever.
It's like the jambalaya pot, the McWhorter pot.
Man, that was a
Cook them in butter. It looked like he had some little drippings of bacon, so he'd cook first and put them to the middle
Yeah.
of it, and then had that dove breast upside down, like meat that side down in the little.
You think it done
oyster
anything
divot.
different?
Just seared it probably. I mean, you got to think you're not cooking it very long. If you overcook it, it's not worth eating.
It's-
And that's like I don't like making poppers and stuff with them because by the time you get everything else cooked on it, the dove's trash.
Mm-hmm.
So the best ones that we ever did was when we just marinated them and put them all on one skewer, and then put them on there real
grilled 'em.
fast and super
Yeah, we
grilled.
took the meat off the breast,
Yep.
breasted them out like you do a duck.
It's kind of like dove on a stick.
Just
See,
put
I'm
'em
gonna
on the
change this year. I mean, if we cook dove, but deer especially, instead of using bacon, using like prosciutto or something super thin that has that saltiness, but don't take but just a second to cook, and that way you don't overcook whatever's in
trying
it.
to
you
get
know?
the rawness out of the bacon. That has been my problem. Even when I do a deer, any kind of popper, I like to use like either pre-cook the bacon a little bit, about halfway, or either buy the pre-cooked bacon because it browns up good, and you just want that flavor from it.
So I like my bacon by half raw anyway, so I'm good.
So you're good with it. I
Yeah.
guess it's each his own, man.
I like
What do y'all? So I figured this. If we talk about dove hunting, you got to talk about what gun you're shooting. Y'all just grabbing one out of the closet? You got a dove gun specifically, or what are y'all using?
You know, you made a good point just then. I've never seen how you can go to Benelli's website and buy a turkey gun. I've never been to a website and be like, man, this is a dove gun. Like, nobody does that.
Well, I did see what brought this up to me, and I was going to talk about this too. Is on Mossy Oaks page they had a printable dove target for patterning your dove gun, and I was like, I don't even have a dove gun. Like I got a gun, but
How you going to make that printable? You going to put it on a stick and run across in front of me, and I'm going to shoot it as you're
no,
flying?
you print it off, you tape it on a target, put it on a target stand. But it's like, so you pattern your turkey gun, right? Pattern your duck gun.
Yeah.
Why not pattern your dove gun? Do you change, like, you just shooting whatever, you buying a specific dove choke, or are you buying just shooting one that came with
I'm
your
going to
gun?
shoot an improved cylinder. Something gives me a 4x8 sheet of plywood going out across the sky. I need all the help I can get.
What are y'all shooting? 20 gauge, 12 gauge, 28 gauge?
I've always shot my 20 gauge Just modified choke, nothing special.
I'm gonna probably shoot the old Goldfinger
It's a 12 gauge
12 gauge.
with an improved cylinder.
Or no, I think I shot a cylinder choke out of it last time we went and shot Skeet. I think it was cylinder.
What about you, Mikey? What are you shooting?
Maybe they're going to shoot wheels over and under. Or, well, he's probably going to shoot that. I'll probably shoot side by side.
Oh, side by side. Does it have chokes in it?
Yeah. It's got a Skeet choke and a approved cylinder in it.
You don't want but 2 shots. You ain't worried about a plug, are you?
No, that third shot's usually a waste anyways, unless you got just a hell of a dove field where they're coming in groves.
I'm gonna check my Benelli. I missed a lot of deadgum birds with it last year, and I got to see into where those things they have what do they call it, the European sight on them.
Yeah,
You don't think about it, but it's made like when the European guns, they don't want you to look down the bead to shoot the pattern. It's always going to shoot like up and left. So you got to shoot lower than what you think with it. And I never thought of that until I read something about it the other day. And you probably ought to check yours too and see where it's shooting.
It's on.
Like if you pattern it, I mean,
I've shimmed the stock when I got it back from getting all the work done. We shimmed the stock and got everything.
So yours is shooting
pretty darn close enough to me where it's not the gun's fault.
Well,
Daddy's Benelli, we had to shim it because it was shooting like way low.
it depends on the shells you shoot too. I noticed like years ago when we started shooting a Rio shell, like we always shot this other shell called a
Rottweiler.
Rottweiler. Yeah, it was a German-made shell. We were going down to Starkville and getting these things and by the truckloads and bringing them back up here, and that's what we shot all year. I mean, we were getting them for cheap. And anyways, they stopped.
number 8, number 9. What was it?
Like most of them like 7.5, 8.
Yeah. Ounce or bigger than that? Ounce and 1/8.
Oh, it's an ounce and 1/8. They was all high brass.
We were shooting all 12 gauge then too.
Yeah. But you would get those, and those patterned out everybody's gun really good. And then we moved to we got these Rio shells, and I noticed and mainly out of my gun, like we were rabbit hunting and stuff, I would have to shoot under the rabbit to kill him because it just shot higher for some reason. Don't know why. Just same everything on the shell, it just shot higher out of that gun.
I hated those Rios.
See, I don't think when people think about dove hunting, I guarantee you don't think about that. You just think about grabbing
they
a dove
buying the
bucket,
cheapest shells at Walmart.
buying whatever cheap shells is on sale, grabbing your old gun that's probably ain't been cleaned, been in the closet, been in the gun safe, and just going out there.
And they do make a difference. They do fly different. We've seen that pattern in turkey guns. I mean,
So
it's
if you're
the same thing with a.
If you're gonna buy some shells, what are you gonna start with? Are you just gonna go get whatever's on sale for dove, or are you gonna go buy a specific?
If I hadn't been practicing, yeah, I'm just gonna grab the cheapest thing I can get a hold of.
I mean, Mark found them, the Nobles,
Noble Sports.
and they shoot pretty dang good.
I like
high
them.
brass shell too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do. I like those, and then I'm trying to think what brand it was. Miles gave me that were number 8. So they were low brass.
The Fiocchi shoot good too.
Yeah, the Fiocchis. You gave me those Fiocchis. They shot real good on my gun, but I can't remember what that. Didn't he get you a case of them?
Mm-hmm. I need some for.
They were 7/8 out. They wasn't a real heavy round, but they shot good.
And see, that might be why I'm blowing through a bird, but everything I buy is all high brass.
Is it too much? Yeah.
Might be.
I mean,
You shooting dove hunting? You shooting high brass?
Man, I got like 6 cases of shells in my safe, and every one of them are high
those
brass.
Rottweilers are high brass. Because I remember those stomp your freaking butt. And the Rios kick like a mule too, but they suck. I hate them Rios. I got a case of them right now. I'd give somebody.
When Will and them were shooting in competition and stuff, Rios were like the big shell for everybody to get for some reason. But we shot him a few times, but they did all right out of his gun. But some of the other shells did a lot better out of his gun. Some Federals and Winchesters and things like that. He shot a lot better with those.
What were those Fiocchis? They 1 ounce? They wasn't 1 ounce and 8. I think they were just 1 ounce.
Yep.
Shoot, I want to say the ones I got my 12 gauge are 1 1/4, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't shoot them dove hunting.
That's all I buy, 7.5 and 6s. That's it.
They don't. Do they mix light load shells now? Kind of like they do turkey loads where you can get like a 7 and a 9.
I don't know if they have blends or not. I'm sure they do, but there's some. I mean, some of them are even shooting like some steel shot for them. I guess some states have different regulations where you have to.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't want to shoot steel at them. It's like a number 9 steel shot.
Be crippling them. I ain't a big fan of that steel shot.
Heck no.
That and it's hard on your gun, dirty, which I guess lead is too. But no.
What about practicing? Y'all gonna get any practice in before dove season? Mikey's been going have y'all been shooting every Saturday?
Not every Saturday.
or at least once a month?
It's been, well, we shoot twice, 3 times a month.
So with us not opening until Sunday, I'm thinking Saturday would be a good morning to go shoot some plays.
Did you look to see if is it Saturday or Sunday at
It's
2?
Sunday. I didn't know. There's no time restriction that I saw. I couldn't find it where it said anything about.
Let me look.
Now there was
open it
back in
late
the
or something.
day. Back in the day when they let it open on Sunday, they said it was a 2:00 start, but I think they got rid of that. I think it's just regular time, Sunday morning.
Here we go. Dove hunting season dates.
I didn't see. I mean, I couldn't find anything about it. But
Depends on how many politicians are over the game laws that got to go to church.
yeah. Well, do y'all think it's important to
Shit,
go
I need
out
to be
there and
going.
shoot some skeet before you go dove hunt?
Yep. I think it is. I mean, because, you know, you're rusty, and if you ain't shot all summer and you get out there, I mean, wing shooting, you got to know where you're gun shooting at, you know, and feel comfortable with it. I mean, you get out there and just grab a hold of it. You know, we seen that last year, you know, some of the shooters we had.
Some of them.
Some of them.
So y'all ever,
We had birds flying around, and they were making multiple circles trying to get on the field, and they still wasn't knocking them down.
like opening day, you're sitting there, sun's coming up, birds coming in, and you kind of want to be like the first guy to shoot the bird. How many times y'all been the first guy that shot the bird and it wasn't a dove?
Oh, just waxo Tweety bird.
Yeah, a Tweety bird just comes sailing in there, and you're like,
Man,
oh, I got
I'm
him.
talking dragonflies, Tweety birds. If it's flying,
How many times you been the first guy that the first dove flew over and you shot and missed it and looked like a
been
fool
there.
in front of everybody?
bunch.
Every year.
Yeah.
Man, it was.
Usually you're one of the first ones to knock one down, though.
I got 1 or 2 good shots in me, and then I'm done.
And that's something people, back to what you're talking about on food plots, you got to consider where you're putting that at.
Not in the bottom.
Yeah, if your property's lower than surrounding trees and it's a hill or you're at the bottom of a hill, them birds aren't going to come over the top of a tree and sail down in there and light the field hardly.
No, they don't like to.
Hilltops or more open is definitely better.
We noticed that on our place. The first years we tried to do a dove field, it was down in the bottom. And they'd fly over you all day, but they're so high you couldn't hit them.
Yeah, if you got a really wide bottom, like, you know, coming across number 4 over there, you know, you're okay in there. But, you know, if you're like where we were at, where it's just ridge to ridge, you ain't got about 100 yards in between the ridges. Yeah, you're messing up. And birds going to fly over the top of the field, lighting the trees across the field and sit there and wait. And now they ain't coming because they see you.
Yep.
Yeah, when they come over, they're 70, 80 foot in the air to start with.
So when you're sitting on a dove field, how important is that to be covered? A lot of times, I mean, we've just sat out by a hay bale or by a bush or something, but y'all think it's real important to be
I mean,
dove hunting?
you need to be somewhat broke up.
White shirt and orange vest, nothing out there, but
I think the biggest thing is just be still.
yeah.
Because you know as soon as you raise your gun, they flare. I mean, they definitely see that movement more than they do you actually sitting there, I think.
So yeah, you get them behind some hay. I mean, that's what we do. I mean, we put those big round bales of hay where you can sit behind them. You know, you lay your gun up on top of it or whatever. You see the birds coming, or put your chair right behind it. You know, on some of the edges of the field, you know, we've left little small thickets and stuff like that. If you just sit against a tree
Anything to
line.
break you up a little bit.
Just anything, yeah, to break you up, because, you know, like Mark was saying, I mean, they might not necessarily just see you or pay much attention to you, but when you start moving and start trying to get on them, because everybody gets antsy and they're ready to start aiming at the bird 50 yards out, you know, here they're going to start ducking and dodging.
Who's the guy that always, bird? And then you get up and like Jamie said, it's not a dove.
I've sure done that. I smoked one right off the bat one morning. I just picked it up, put it in my coat like it was a dove. It wasn't nothing but a Tweety bird of some sort.
You toted him around.
Oh, you act like I done killed the first bird.
Got him.
You made it
And
good.
I've seen them old buzzards fly around. They've looked at it a few times. They're way up there, though.
I think they know. They start hearing all that blasting. They start going a little bit higher, a little bit higher.
What was that? What was that bird that got shot on that field? This been a long time ago. Your dad was at.
Back on one of them heron
Heron?
crane.
Heron or
you come-
crane or something. I don't
Floating
know.
over.
He shouldn't
That dude
have
had
flew
some
over.
long landing gear. There's the ones that fly with their feet kind of
Yeah.
not all the way down, but man, there was a flock of them things come over the top of that field. I knew where at the end of the field it was coming in. The people that were sitting down there, I said, they ain't gonna make it. They ain't gonna make it. And sure enough, boom! Here
Was
comes
anybody
one.
yelling, "Don't shoot"? Or
Oh yeah, I can remember the one year when we dove hunted where my house is. You could see the neighboring field, like because we were
yeah.
up pretty high. You could see the neighboring field, and the whooping crane or whatever it was flew over us, just pretty as you please, and it goes on across, and you hear him when he gets to the tree line of the neighboring field, don't shoot, and you just see it, down it goes, you know. That was not
Do
on
you
our
think
field.
you ate it?
No.
No.
Now, if it was old sandhill crane, might have to get on that.
That's a hunt I'd like to get on. Crane hunt.
I ain't so we cooked that one back at the wild game cook-off. I ain't just sold on it. I mean, it was good.
I don't remember. I don't guess.
Or excuse me, no, that was spec we had. It wasn't. We couldn't get sandhill.
Yeah,
we
that's
still
right.
hadn't tried sandhill. Yeah, never mind. I might be sold on it then.
Yeah. Spec was okay, but it wasn't as good as those.
It wasn't good as Mallard to me.
Yeah, especially those farm raised mallards.
Corn-fed ones.
That's where you've been shooting out there at Mallard Croft, isn't it? What's it called?
Mallard Croft, Sporting Clays.
Yeah, Sporting Clays at Mallard's Croft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's out off of 309 in Bahia.
That's what's up there in Illinois too, across from that campground we tried to figure out.
Clay
It's
course.
a sport and clay course too back there. I got to looking at it yesterday.
We're lucky. We have 3 of them fairly close to us. Like there's the state facility down at Sardis, at McIver shooting facility. They've got Sporting Clay 5-stand, trap. They got ranges for rifle and pistol and archery.
Yeah, down at Sardis, yeah.
And then we've got the one out there in Byhalia.
Bahia, yeah. They don't. They're just Sporting Clays.
And they have a 5-man.
Well, they got the
And they
5
have,
stand.
5-stand or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm. They got the 5-stand, and then they have an actual clay course up in the woods up there, and that's what we shoot both. We shot both last week.
What does it cost to shoot one of those? Is it like $60 a head?
It's $55
For
for the course. And then if you don't bring your own, you can bring your own side by side 4-wheeler or golf cart. If you don't have one, it's $30, which it'll hold 4 people.
That's not too bad. You split it up. Takes a couple hours to shoot it.
Yeah, but you
They don't
shoot
have any
the
peoples out
5
there?
stand. They give you an option. They would either give you 200 skeets to go out there and shoot it. You pay per skeet, or you get for $15 you get 25 skeets. I think it's 25. You go out there and shoot the 5-stand, which is pretty cool. It's they got a pond out there that's laying out there, and all 5 stands are just right next to one another, and they throw them from different.
So as a shooter, you stand still on the 5-stand, right?
You move stands, so you shoot your 15 or 20 out of this stand, and then you move to the next and shoot 15 or 20, and you move all the way down. So it's
There's
got a
5
chart.
positions.
Yeah, it's 5 positions.
Yeah.
So they've got a chart there that tells whoever's throwing the skeets for you. They got a big box that's got A through whatever J on there, because there's like 15 throwers around the pond, and some of them are up on stilts, some of them are down low, and they're throwing anything from loopers to teal to just everything. And you can look at the chart and know where they're coming from, and like some of the guys, they wanted to know. So you tell them, you say A report B, or B report C, or true double G and H.
Yeah.
So they knew which stand they were coming from. The first time I shot it, they were telling me, and I told them on the second time, I said, don't tell me where it's coming from. I just want to shoot it just raw. I'll just see where it's coming from and pick it up. But it's pretty cool. I mean, I liked it. It's a lot of different stuff. It's more like a hunt situation, like you'd be shooting at ducks or doves or something like that, because they're all different kinds of skeets. I mean, they're crossers. There's some that come to you, some that go away from you. Like I said, there's some that are right in your face, and then there's some that's out across the lake pretty far.
Do they throw over your head too?
Not over your head. Everything's in front of you. So like there's 1 or 2 that's like right in front of the thing. So when they throw them away from you, they sling them out, and they go pretty much just straight out.
Yeah. Kind of like a trap.
Mm-hmm.
I know on the Sporting Clay course, they come from all angles too.
Those
though.
come from all angles.
They'll throw rabbits. They'll throw squirrels off a tree.
Those squirrel will be whooping everybody down.
Man, when it goes up and it loops back, you got to wait on those. That's the whole ticket on them.
I don't know how they
They
make
stall
them.
out right as soon as they come off a tree. They stall for a second. So if you follow it and get ahead of it when it stalls,
They got to have different clays than we had, because ain't no way them clays what was the white pigeons or what was them?
There's no orange ones from Academy.
Yeah, what was they called?
White flyers.
White flyers.
Yeah.
Like, man, you break them putting them in a skeet.
A lot. I mean, I've been on some of those where the throwers they'll break 10
Yeah.
of them. Trying to cycle through a bad stack, or they get cracked when they load them or something. They're pretty fragile.
Is there any one of those places, glow in the dark, cosmic?
No, I don't. I hadn't seen any around us.
we need to
but
go find somewhere to do
there's
that.
a place in Texas that does it. And it looks really.
There's one in Indiana up there by J&M. We were talking about going to do it, but
It's kind of a more of a 5 stand, isn't it? Where you just stay, or kind of like Top Golf with shotguns at night. You stay in the one position, everything's just right out in front of you going away.
I was going to say they probably wouldn't want you moving around,
Riding
in
around.
the
Too much,
woods, riding
yeah,
around in the dark, shooting at different stations.
I think that'd be neat because you only can focus on the target, because everything else behind it's going to be
Blacked out.
so you only see that. And I don't know if that makes it harder or if that makes it easier. Or
I don't know. It'd be fun.
You definitely got to be in tune with your gun because if you can't see the barrel of the gun,
I didn't think about that either.
Probably, imagine you use their guns.
No,
They probably have fiber optic sight or something on them.
I would assume you'd shoot your own.
I don't know. I mean, that seems like a big liability, but
Put your glow stick on the end of it.
yeah, they'd have to have some kind of light up there where
Y'all
at
seen
least
the
light
shot
on
cams?
you maybe.
that you can get that like records.
That clicks on the
records your
barrel.
shit. Yeah, it goes on the bottom of your barrel, and it records the video of it, and you can go back and kind of see what you're doing wrong. It's kind of a training aid.
Really?
What is it?
Shot
That ain't
cam.
is shot cam's
Yeah,
the
that's
name
the
of
one
it?
I've seen. I'm sure they've got multiple of them.
Well, I guess so. Yeah, because that one guy I watch, he does a lot of skeet shooting and stuff like that, teaching you fundamentals and things like that. And he's got one on his because you can see the barrel of the gun as he.
Yeah, and it actually shows like a red
Like
dot
his
where
lead on
he's
the-
shooting, where he's leading, and so you can kind of tell where he's shooting on
Yeah.
crossers or going
We
away.
don't need that. You remember the hog hunt when we'd watch the recording of us shooting the night before? Wasn't none of us even close to hog, and we were steadily pulling the trigger. We thought we was on them though.
I thought I was on them a bunch of times. It's hard when you're moving like that.
We don't need to see how bad we're screwing up.
There's another one of those clay courses down in Como too. What's it? The DeSoto Pistol Club, I think.
I think so. I think that's what they call it. I hadn't shot that one yet.
I've never shot a course
anyway.
anywhere.
You never been on one?
Never.
Oh man, they're fun.
We've always done just go to your buddy's house and get the thrower out and shoot skeets, but I've never been to like a course.
I bet you they got Wes's tuned up.
Yeah, they shot the other weekend, I think.
Usually on Sunday afternoon, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think Charles texted me a couple weeks ago. I was out of town. They were starting back.
Yeah, he texted me last 2 weekends.
You still got that thrower?
Yeah.
The auto one?
Yep.
There we go.
I'd like to set up a small little clay course. You need probably, I don't know, 6 or 8 of them just to make a little 3 or 4 hole
Small
course. Yeah.
See, my thrower just it don't wobble; it just throws. But
Some of them you can buy that wobbler to go.
yeah, you can put the wobble kit on mine. I just didn't do it.
That's like out there at Wes's. That's what they have, and you can listen to it. I never did figure it out. Wes and John, I let them listen to it enough
Charles
they could
will.
know how it sounds as it's moving, and they could tell where it was going to throw.
This one's going to be a high one. This
Yeah.
one's going to be a low one or whatever. Learn the wobble.
All of them are pretty good out there. They know them skeet throwers like the back of their hand.
Yeah, they run 3, I guess. Got 2 in the containers on the side,
Yeah.
and one up top on the balcony of the cabin.
It's a good time though. Good practice.
Hey, no, I go broke. They all want to put money on it. I can't shoot that good.
We put money on it every time. Well, we don't put money on ours. We used to shoot for logs of snuff. And then some of the guys got kind of brave and wanted to up the ante on it. And so the winner, well, it was 2 of us, me and another guy. So the bet was whoever lost had to cut the other one's grass. So I
Man,
told
Jamie, you need to get in on that.
I don't need to be in the grass cutting business.
You just need to get your shooting skills up, and you wouldn't have to sit on that mower for 5 hours.
Yeah.
No, he'd have to sit on it for 8.
Yeah, if I'd be cutting mine in there as well. I ain't that good a shot.
I wound up
takes
winning that one. That guy got the short end of the stick. Because his yard was about quarter of an acre, and mine was about 6.
Yeah.
He
Man,
pulled up.
so
He was
did you
like, "Hold
win?
on now." Yeah.
So when y'all go, what score does it take to win your group? No, I'm not talking about like a tournament. This is just friendly shooting
Friendly shoot, you got to be shooting in the high 70s to win.
to win. That'll usually you'll be up in the running.
Mm-hmm.
What are you shooting, Mark? Last time you went, you breaking 70?
I don't think I did at MacGyver's. I think I shot like it was either high 60 or low 70, maybe. I can't
That was
remember
where
exactly.
I was. The last time I shot, it was a low 70, like 71, which I thought was good because I hadn't shot it very often. I just let my son shoot.
Oh, I was tickled to death. I ain't shot one in years, and that was the first time out with that gun. And
But you find they're harder though, different places. Like it's like
Yeah.
Mallard's Croft. Is it pretty challenging?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's challenging. They change the skeet course every 3 weeks. So when we go over and shoot, like one time we may shoot it and it's the same, depending on where we fall at in that month, because he changes them on a certain day every month. And so the next time we go, they may be completely different. We might get lucky and get to shoot them twice at the same settings.
How was y'all set up, Mark? Was it like, because it was a fundraiser tournament,
Yeah.
and did they have it to where it was fairly easy, or was it pretty?
No.
They didn't
Because
give
it
no
was,
slack?
there was 2 or 3 down at the bottom in the woods that you couldn't see until either they were right on top of you or they were all the way out of sight, you know. So, I mean, they had some tricky ones, and then the ones that throw straight up that go 150, 200 foot up in the air, you know, you got to time them right because they're usually out there pretty good ways. So, I mean, it was some pretty tricky ones, but it was some that were, I ain't gonna say chip shots, but you'd shoot 3 out of 4 every time, you know.
Yeah.
I need me a course set up like rabbits. That'd be all right then.
The
They
rabbits,
have
I've done good every time on the rabbits. The squirrel, I think I got 2 out of 4 on it. Of course, it never did hop the same because I was going to try to shoot it on the hop before it got to the tree, and it's hard to do.
So like out there, they got a conveyor belt with a hump in it. You don't really notice it on one of them until you get out there and they throw it, and then you see it. It comes plumb off the ground and jumps.
Oh, it
over
makes
the
it
woods.
jump, makes that clay jump. I don't see how it doesn't break it. It
what I'm
must be
saying.
throwing it on its side, right?
A lot of rabbits, they're not the same skeet.
Yeah, they got to be
they're
heavier or
thin.
something.
They're not. I don't know. They're probably maybe ½ inch, 3/4 inch wide, and they're a lot harder. So when they throw them, they're made to roll on the ground, not break. Them flying skeets, yeah, you throw them, they're gonna bust.
And was it little bitty green ones they throw that's like a 3 inch or 2 inch, the little bitty small ones? They're fast.
So like that course over there, they'll throw the black side to you on the rabbits.
So it's really hard to pick up.
They ain't easy to find sometimes. You better be looking for them. But they've got it set up pretty good where it's challenging because you're shooting in the woods, so you may have they might be kind of close to you. You think they're easy, but there's so many you have to wait on. Like there's trees out there with the bark knocked plumb off of them, where they shot and hit the tree and the skeet kept going. So they'll throw them like through the trees. So you got to pick your shots on some of them. And then they'll get you with one, like they'll throw a floater right in front of you, and then a zinger will come about head high off the ground, and it's rolling.
You know, they throwing a lot of true pairs, or is it reports?
No, you got true pairs too.
It's mixed in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, I don't think at a tournament or at a contest like that, I don't think you should be able to see it. I don't think you should go up there and let them throw 2 skeets.
You just think you got to go?
You got to get up there and go.
Well,
You don't know where that bird's going to fly, so why are you going? Why are you going to get a?
That'd be hard to do in groups, though, because it would be just the first.
I guess
man.
yeah. You screw
you
your
were the
first
first
guy up.
man.
First
you
guys,
screwed.
yeah, because everybody you have to. We gonna blindfold them.
Yeah, stick them in a little bus stop where they can't see it.
You don't know where it's coming from.
But if you could do that, that would change everybody's.
Heck yeah, that'd be hard
Not
as crap.
knowing- Yeah, it'd be super hard. You didn't know where they were.
And if you didn't have to do it twice, if you just shot that pair once and one more pair that's different once, and that's it, I don't know.
That'd be challenging there.
I love to do that.
Shit, I ain't good enough at it. Just regular.
We'll just have to next time go down there. We'll just turn our backs to whoever's shooting, no peeking, see who
can't
does
look.
what.
See, that sucks too, though, because then you can't laugh at nobody.
Yeah. I need all the help I can get. I don't need to make it more difficult.
You could shoot
think-
that 5 stand like that, though.
Yeah.
You just have to throw them separate, like not know which one you're throwing. You could go shoot the 5 stand, and it's up to the thrower to throw you 2 skeets from any direction he wants to.
I see. We need to go have us a little tournament. You better practice up, Jamie.
So what's more people shooting at these things? 20 gauge, 12 gauge, 28 gauge, or it just kind of depends.
I would say most of the
You
ones I
shooting
see
in
are shooting
tournaments are
12.
shooting like we're shooting. You shooting 12 gauge. I mean, you got so many more pellets than a 12 gauge. You got more opportunity to hit the bird.
And that gun of mine, that old Super Black Eagle, kicks less than my 20 gauge does. I guess because it's a little bit heavier.
Mm-hmm.
That Monte Feltro, it'll thump you. It's got a little recoil to it. Say when?
Is that what you shot? Did you shoot with the 20 or the 12?
12. Me and Emily both shot the 12.
When you doing Thursday,
We'll set
Friday?
that up. Yeah, we'll have to set that up. Let's watch this. We ain't got very many more weeks before dove season. We got to get some practice in.
So
We go over Thursday, Friday.
We got to do the 5-man to get a warm up, and then do the course.
It takes you about, if you shoot the course, if it's just 4 of you,
Better
and there's
order
nobody in
case
front of you.
shells.
Yeah, I ordered one yesterday.
It'll take you about 2 hours to shoot the course, 2.5.
After podcast, we all go get on ammoseek.com.
Yeah, we'll be buying some shells.
Oh, I'm going to Max Prairie Wing. It's guarantee every time. And they'll be here tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, if you like shells now, like you go on Midway USA, they've got shells fairly reasonable. Academy's got them like $100 a case up there right now, sitting in the floor on pallets.
The last one I bought was from Max. I think they had a pretty good deal.
It's
on
hard
it.
to find shells under $98, $95. You know, it's
you ain't gonna see that anymore.
it's hard. I mean, Midway's got one. I think they had Fiochis for $83 a case, but it was one certain shot. You know, size. It wasn't. I don't think it was a lot of a choice there. You just kind of got what they had. But if you buy shells now, I mean, $115, $120 a case is about average.
How much did you just give? Did you just order some?
No, I got them sitting there.
Oh,
I gotta filter them because they got a bunch of steel shot.
Oh yeah, you don't want that.
I do it on my computer. It's a lot easier. But what else?
What else do we have on there, Mikey?
Oh,
I do one
Mr.
thing.
Fox.
Yeah, it's
He
Mr. Fox.
turned 94 today.
94 years old, still hunting.
That's crazy.
Can you imagine what that man's seen in his lifetime?
That's
Hunting?
how many turkeys he shot.
Oh Lord, there ain't no telling.
He probably won't let that secret out. It's some probably undocumented.
Oh, man. I bet he's probably been turkey hunting for, what do you think, 60 years? What did it say in that documentary? Did y'all see that documentary, Colonel the Fox?
That was a good little
It
show.
was really good. I think he started hunting when he was in his late teens.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe didn't he serve in the Army?
I'm not sure. I don't remember that. 70-something years of turkey hunting. Just say if you kill one a year,
That's a lot of birds.
that's a lot of turkey. I bet he's over 100. I bet you there's times he's killed multiple in the same year.
Yeah, because I mean, you think about
When you get three in Mississippi.
they might shoot their 3 in Mississippi and then go off somewhere else and get a
I
limit
don't know if it
birds
was
in another
always.
state.
They wasn't always like it is now because of all the habitat and conservation efforts they've been doing to get it up. But that's a lot of years to be turkey hunting.
Yeah, because you see what they do down there on their place, man. It is. We think we burning something.
Oh yeah, they're burning woods.
They said toxic burn everything.
That is the Foxhole Shootout's coming up. Did I write that date down?
September 19th.
Yeah, September 19th.
It's in West Point, Mississippi. What was that place called, Mike?
It's let's see, Town Creek Farms Pavilion in West Point.
Yeah, it's a golf tournament, which I ain't golfing, but it's a golf tournament, and then a live fire, wild game dinner with an auction and band and all that stuff that night.
And they
It's
always
pretty
have
damn cool.
really good chefs down there cooking on open fire, and some of them cooking on smokers and things like that. But they cook an array of different things down there, from oysters to shrimp to whole lambs, whole goats. What else they cook? Wild boar. They cook a bunch of different
Bunch of
things.
stuff. Pheasant. Was it quail or pheasant?
I don't. They had quail because they were cooking them on those brio stoves. They had them laid around the edges of them. And
There's a bunch of food.
yeah, it's
Some of those
neat to
guys
watch
come
them
up
cook
from
all that
Venice
stuff.
that I forget which fishing outfit that was, but they brought up a bunch of tuna
Yeah.
and shrimp and oysters. I don't remember how many dozen oysters.
Remember the daggum canoe they had in there? They had an old wood canoe full of seafood all the way down. They had it
covered,
packed full of
yeah.
ice, and it was kind of cocked up on the side, and it was just full of seafood that they had brought in. It's
That's a good time. If anybody's in the area and they looking for something to do next month, should go to. I guess you can go to Mossy Oak. Check it. Is it a website?
mossyoak.com.
Foxholeshootout.com. I think it is.
You look on there and
You get
find
tickets.
out. where
I
you
know
can
it's on their
tickets.
Facebook too. I seen them post it the other day.
But that'll be coming up, and then
Then-
we've got
Squirrel.
Squirrel, the World Squirrel Cook-Off in Springdale, Arkansas.
We got to start prepping.
Yeah, we got to cook.
How many pounds are we gonna cook?
Well, there's probably 1,000. We need 1,000 samples, Mark. How many pounds of jambalaya will that take? A big Yeti full, I bet.
Yeah, I think we'll do 30 pounds of chicken, 30 pounds of rice,
Sausage.
30 pounds of sausage.
Is that kind of the way you
I do it all
made
even.
it by pounds, like whatever you put in there?
Because usually, our pod is a 10 gallon. Ain't that what it is?
Yeah, I think so.
and it'll hold. You can do 13 pounds of everything in it and not push the lid off of it. So I'll break it up into 10 pounds so it's manageable, and we'll do 3 rounds.
3 rounds of that.
And that'd be a lot. I mean,
that'd be a full day of cooking jambalaya.
because if you're doing samples, what do you figure up?
Oh, you just get a
3 ounce.
yeah, something like that.
So
we'll get a little scoop with a little bowl, and then we're gonna do some little spicy Cajun crackers to go with it or something.
Yeah,
Have some hot sauce sitting there.
100 quart Yeti. Load it up, get it cleaned out good. It'll stay hot.
What does it take to cook that? 2 hours?
No, probably not that.
Well,
Hour?
the cooking part's easy. It's the whole resting and fluffing the rice. Like I like
so
to.
It's probably at least an hour and a half a batch. Right?
Yeah, probably so.
At least.
Because I mean, you think it takes 20. You figure 30 minutes for the rice. Time you get the stuff back to a boil, you let it boil for 22 minutes. Lid on, fluff it, and then let it sit for another 20. So you're 40 minutes just in cooking rice and fluffing.
We'll have time to do 3 batches during that day. I'm sure with everything, giving it out too.
And we could go ahead and like cook all the sausage, then just portion it out for each batch once we put the rice in. So cook all the sausage, cook all the chicken. But I don't know, it may not be as good that way.
No.
I think you need to do it each batch, each time.
Have
Have it already prepped and ready
Yeah,
to
have everything
dump.
prepped and ready.
We'll break it down to vacuum seal 10-pound bags of chicken, 10-pound bags of sausage.
Right, when you get there, all you got to do is dump it in and go.
Get a fire going and dump it. We'll need a lot of king crawl.
You just have one jambalaya pot?
I got 2. I got a 5-gallon and a 10, so we could bring them both.
I like to have another whole setup like we got.
Yeah.
What's the next size up?
They make a 20. They make a 15, a 20. I think I can put
I think yours go one more size bigger.
I think I can put a 20-gallon on my burner, I think. And we could do that. I could get another pot, and we cook one and serve out of one and cook the next one and just rotate those pots back and forth if we need to.
30 pounds of squirrel.
We could do
That'd
that
make it
too.
good. It'd take a while to kill that many squirrels.
That's a lot of squirrels.
Hey, I got that many in my yard every morning.
Hey, start peeling us off some, Jamie. Get that. I got that little 22 with the suppressor on it.
Yeah, knock it
That's a
down.
squirrel killer, man. They don't even know what hits.
Borrow that.
I don't even know what hits them. If you could knock us out some over there, if y'all got some little house squirrels.
Well, for years, me and Will, we squirrel hunted around the yard and stuff, and there wasn't very many at my house. They were all over at Fate's house. But
now you got all the maker trees.
Dude, I mean, they get up on the porch, sit on the railing and stuff. They're all in the yard now.
I probably wouldn't shoot them right at the house, but I mean, right out in the yard, you'd be all
Oh,
right.
I'll clip them off that railing.
You can set them up.
It's easy.
Put you one of them little ring cameras out there and put some corn out or something. When they come up there, just shoot them.
Well, see, when we built that new deck, I strategically cut those limbs where I left one about long as your arm hanging off the tree in a couple of different places where they'll come up there and perch. And you can shoot them right off the deck.
Y'all could just get 3 or 4 a morning.
Yeah, but they all ate up with wolves and everything else right now. Ticks and fleas.
You wouldn't want to mess with them?
Them old, whatever them things are. Whatever's in that wool little thing is
Nasty.
pretty rough.
This is like a little worm or something, isn't it?
Fly
Looks
egg,
like
I
a big
guess.
gray maggot with
Yeah.
I don't want no part of it in my dinner or meal. I know that.
You never know. You get it skinned and boiled a little.
I'll let you be
Squirrel
the
seed in Arkansas don't ever close.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You think they're
all
eating
year.
wool-free squirrels over there at the squirrel?
They eat bears over there too, and I ain't doing that.
I'd try it if it's cooked right.
I don't know.
It's got to be. I ain't
The
eating
wool or the
medium rare.
squirrel?
The
Bear.
bear.
You want some
Oh.
deep
I
fried
ain't a bunch of
wolves?
Squirrel. I mean, there's going to be some fantastic squirrel over there.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll spend some time walking around and talking to some of these guys, but they have a heck of a chefs over there cooking squirrel.
Yeah, it's not like, from everything I've read and seen, it's not like what you think about just
Meemaw ain't out there
yes.
making
No.
squirrel dumplings.
squirrel gravy or something going on.
It's serious enough they have, actually chefs in there judging. There was
Several.
one lady, she was like a expert in Indian cuisine. Darn, I got tongue twisted. Indian cuisine, and then there was another guy. He was a chef somewhere, and he had a lot of different chefs in there. And that's why when I went in there, he was introducing me to all those people, and I was like, darn. It's like, you had them all over here to judge a squirrel contest? I didn't expect what to see. I didn't know what I was going to see. I was
I didn't
expecting
either.
squirrel
I
and
just
gravy,
expected it to be like a
dumplings, a bunch
barbecue.
of stuff like that. No, sir.
Well, so what you're saying is a little bit. It's a step up from what we judged in car rent.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
Oh, yeah.
it's going to be a step up from that as far as what they're preparing.
I wouldn't mind judging it.
They may need some extra judges. It's a lot. I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
You're going to judge 17 entries by yourself, and they're all like super dishes.
Yeah.
It's not like you're just taking one bite because every dish has to have like three
Gotta have a
elements.
side.
Yeah, you have to have a squirrel side to go with it. They have to all tie in, so you get a little bit of everything. It's not just like, oh, here's some squirrel dumplings.
Yeah.
Take a bite and that's it.
I'm anxious. It'll be good.
I don't know how many squirrels you'd have to cook. So each person, like each team is a 3-man team, and you have to make 6 entries, Mikey, per? I think that's what you turn in.
6 entries per.
And it's got to be like a
Turn.
entree and a side. And you have to make 6 whole ones every time.
So the
One
entree
judge
and the
gets
side
their
are-
own thing. Like you get your own box.
Yeah.
They both are squirrel though, the entree and the side, or
Yeah,
the side
they have
goes
to-
with it.
It has to have squirrel in it. It don't.
In the
It
side.
could be like squirrel and rice, or like some people. Somebody had like some kind of like a salad or something. Hot salad they made
Yeah.
squirrel with, and I don't know. Some of
I saw
squirrel and
like
potatoes
I
and
had
stuff
a
like
wild.
that. They
It
had
was
a
like a
bunch of
wild
different
mushroom
casseroles.
rice with squirrel. And part of the judging was how you tied squirrel into the side dish, and how was squirrel prepared in the main dish. Is how they did it, and you had to give them. And then they also had to give you a little card like describing the dish too, so you knew exactly what they were trying to do, and you were judging on how well, not how well it was compared to anybody else's. It was how well they executed what they said they were going to do on that card. So if it said it had squirrel, what would it be, like squirrel tallow in this, green beans, you better be able to tell that there was some squirrel in
Yeah.
it. You can't just have.
We need to order, while I'm thinking about it, some sample cups for that.
For the,
Yeah, because I don't know how many we got back here.
okay, yeah, we'll look at that.
Figure out something.
What was that date? That's coming up. It's like the weekend
September
after
7th.
dove season, isn't
It's
it?
in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause we're supposed to be leaving the 6th, I guess.
Yeah, we leave
Is that
on
the
that
Friday?
Friday.
Yeah.
Friday, it's a 1-day deal. It's on Saturday. It's free to the public. So you come out. You don't have to sign up or anything. Just come on out. Springdale, Arkansas, at the Ozark. What was that place called?
Ozarks Highland Nature Center,
In Springdale. So if you,
Springdale, Arkansas.
they don't have. I don't think they have a website. But if you go on Facebook and you just search World Championship Squirrel Cook-Off, it'll go to their Facebook page, and it's got information. And I'm sure we'll share a link to it
It's a good-
post or something. But it's a fun time.
It is. It's a good trip. I mean, if you go up there, that nature center is really nice inside. They got like full body mounted elk, bears, things like that, ducks,
It's like a little museum.
turkey. Yeah, it's like well, I guess it is really
Yeah,
a nature
yeah,
museum.
yeah. It's a museum. Yeah.
They've got a bunch of different history about the area and stuff like that. They also have the pellet gun competition for the kids, and I guess they're still going to have that. They did last year, but they had it for the adults and for the kids. Not only that, they got the squirrel cleaning contest, hottest squirrel in the world contest. They'll have live music out there. There'll be a bunch of food to eat.
A lot of vendors. Last year they made their own squirrel beer,
Yeah,
Squirrel Brow, or whatever it's called.
That sounds bad.
I think it was just
There's
like
a
a local
local
beer. They
brewery,
let them
yeah.
label it with Squirrel label. But I had one. It was pretty good beer. But I think, and I also saw where they're going to have seminars and different things. Like you can do breakouts and go sit down and listen to them talk.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to be talking all about squirrels or what. But and they also do like a quail reintroduction program there. So that was pretty cool. You can go in and you see how they're hatching quail and what their habitat. I keep wanting to say squirrel,
Hatching squirrels.
but it's a pretty neat place.
I didn't realize that far a drive for us neither. It's like 5 hours.
yeah, it's 5 hours.
It's pretty once you get on the other side of Little Rock, though.
It is. It's a good drive once you get up there, man. That's a beautiful.
I wonder
part
how
of the
close
country.
it is to where we went to that Elkhorn.
It's got to be fairly close.
Yeah,
Not too.
because I remember going across that big bridge and that big valley.
There's several of them.
Yeah, several of them will go across.
Arkansas is a pretty state to be this close to us. People don't realize how much is over there.
Yeah, I mean you can be over in the mountains just in 3 hours.
But
It's scenic.
it'd be busy.
But that's about that's all we got coming up this week. Still getting ready. We're gonna try to get some shooting in. You go out there, Jamie. Gonna pattern your gun and see where it's shooting.
Okay,
I'll
I
print
guess
us
I'll
off
have
some
to.
of them squirrel thing or squirrel.
hung up-
Now,
You hung up on
now I'm
squirrel.
hung up on squirrels. Some of them dove targets, and we'll go out there and shoot them, see what they do.
I need to, 'cause I hadn't, at Browning 12 gauge, I hadn't shot it enough to say I shot it, really.
Oh, it ain't even broke in.
You need to order you a couple cases of shells and go run some through it.
I probably
We'll see if we can get us a clay day set up, or we can do some video of a friendly competition. What are we gonna bet?
Not grass cutting.
No.
Case of shells.
Game.
That'd be a pretty good bet there.
What are you going? What everybody got to buy the winner of case of shells?
Yeah, that's an even better idea.
The winner gets 3 cases in.
I mean, maybe just the
pool in.
low man's the one that loses.
He's got.
He's the only one that's got to buy the winner a case. So if you finish in the middle 2 spots, there's only 4 of us. If you finish in the middle 2 spots, you're safe. But if I lose, I got to buy the winner a case of shells.
So I need to go do a side job this week for $100.
You just got to see. It's like you're running from the bear. You ain't got to be the fastest. You just got to outrun the other guy.
Yeah.
You just got to outshoot me. Shouldn't be too hard. I ain't that good.
We'll see.
See.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm going to go practice. But no, that's about all we got going on this week. Mikey, do you have anything else?
No, that's it, man.
All right. Well, y'all plan on coming seeing us out at the Squirrel Championship next month. We'll talk more about it next time. I guess we'll have another podcast before then. But until that, we're going to work on some dove recipes and brush up on some
practice shooting.
Practice shooting.
Practice shooting and get ready because hunting season's almost here.
Be a good one.
All right. Well, take us on out, Mark.
Well, we appreciate y'all listening. Again, y'all check us out on Facebook, Instagram, all the platforms. And if y'all got any questions, let us know. We'll be glad to answer it. And hopefully we'll see y'all either at the Foxhole or at the Squirrel Cook-Off. But y'all come pay us a visit and say hey, and we'll be there. But we out.
We gone.